This episode of Monster Train is brought to you by our sponsors. Here's a word from one of our sponsors now. And then on the script in front of me, because each of these Monster Train episodes is fully scripted, it says ad read goes here. However, whoever's writing on this show did not do a very good job of giving me an ad read, so I guess I'm gonna have to just ad lib, but there's also no product for me to advertise. So instead, I'm just gonna play Monster Train and pretend that there was a really good ad read right about Raid Shadow Legends coming to a phone near you in a world. That's a movie trailer. Raid Shadow Legends is a mobile game. All right, let's play Monster Train. Hello. I forgot to check. I think that there is a request for Umbra today. No. Yeah, there is. Someone wanted Umbra Melting, didn't they? Alright, I'll play Umbra Melting. I knew when I said that I would cycle through, and if you wanted me to play something, you could just request it, that this would lead to Umbra Melting. However, I will still phase down the Umbra Melting for you, my dear viewer. So let's do it, shall we? Crazy thing about this episode, it's not 4 a.m. if you can believe it. The sponsorship money got us a recording time slot before 4:30 a.m., so we're not on the graveyard shift. Pretty crazy, really. It's 8:30. It's prime time, baby. 8:30 on a Saturday. Ooh, buddy, time to gather the family around. Mom, Dad, get in front of the TV. The new episode of Monster Train is about to air. It's a dystopian future where everyone just watches YouTube Let's Plays instead of actual TV. Oh wait, that's probably just reality, isn't it? No one has a TV anymore. But also I think this sitcom is set in the 60s. I'm not really sure. I'm just here to play the Monster Train. But this is a really weird intro. I gotta tell you, it's like, it's still going too, but I don't know where it's going. So I'm gonna move on. Just pretend this intro didn't happen. Or, never let me live it down. Sometimes if I don't like how the intro goes, I cut it, but it's too late. I started the run. I can't cut it now, so we're just it's committed. This intro's on the books. This one's live. Let's go. We are Umbra Melting per request. And what if it'd be pretty funny if someone actually requested like Umbra Exile Melting and I am playing the wrong clan combo, but I didn't double check. But anyway, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We have Rage Talos, we have Failure Arcus, we have Diligent Seraph, Perils Molten Encasement Grovel. Let's begin, shall we? Umbra Melting is a clan combo. We're going to take Lightstone because Drop Cage is rough. Yeah. I don't think that Umbra Melting is as bad as I once thought it was. It's probably just fine. What was our... It's Grovel, yeah. We're going to go Monstrous here. We'll see how it goes. That's what I'll give you today. I think that it's okay. +4 here is not okay. So the big problem with this clan combo is you have no good way to kill backline. There is not a good card to clear out the backline in the Umbra Melting Classic combo. So you gotta figure that out for yourself, and the answer is usually, it's usually tough, is how I would put it. But what we're probably going to do is just tank the backline. This isn't a Seraph that has a particularly difficult backline to face off against. Man, Molten Encasement would be nice to play here, but you can't chump block him. But yeah, we're just gonna play... We're probably going to play a Gorge strategy. Maybe we can play some sort of Harvest if we get a good Melting unit that can Harvest well. Right, we'll see what they show us. Grovel's good here. Lifesteal makes it so that we're fine. With the Grovel start though, I feel pretty good about playing some form of strategy revolving around gorging with either of the Gorgers. Either of your main two boys. Put a Train Steward in front, why not? We'll see, right? It's a run where I could sit here and I could hypothesize a lot, but we're just kind of going to play what the game shows me here. And that's all. That's really all there is to do. We'll see what we get shown in the first few card rewards. See what units get tossed our way. So the other way to go with this, by the way, is to go some sort of Ember Drain heavy strategy. And the plan becomes Superpower Penumbra with a few Furnace taps plus Trample. And that strategy can work as well. The problem I have with it is I don't like Ember Drain strategies into Diligent Seraph. Especially starting with Dregs, we're going to be pretty light on cards to consume into Diligent Seraph. I think it's better to go Pack Morsels, but there's a case to be made for Lightstone Casing there as well. I like Entombed Explosive here. Entombed Explosive makes a pretty big difference throughout the run, so I'm down with that. Could also try and play a heavy Reform strategy, but the problem with playing a heavy Reform strategy here is we have no Reform cards. I'm down to go to a Melting Banner here and just kind of see what it spits at us. Make do with the Lady of the House plus Paraffin Enforcer we're about to see. Nothing particularly interesting there. Oh hey, these are two good units. Now which one do you want to take? That's a really, really good question. A few things to note here include the fact that we're going to be taking space because we're playing Trample Penumbra. And yeah, I basically like playing Wickless Baron here. We're going to have a lot of units that just have nowhere to go because of Trample Penumbra being so big, so we can just throw all the dregs with the Wickless Baron. He harvests all of those, he can help clean up the back line, maybe he snipes a heavy or two. I think it makes sense. I don't think you can build an entire run around Wickless Baron, but he's nice. He can't be your single-handed, I will handle every problem carry. Should definitely take this trial. You can put in work though. We'll see what else we get here. Wickless Baron in the past, by the way, would be the absolute nuts here. He would just win us the run. Because we would just feed him morsels and he would get massive off of the harvest procs, but that was a different time. It doesn't matter if I kill her or not. It's like, oh, I don't want to kill her, but why? She's gonna die on the next floor anyway. If nothing else, he catches collectors. And one strategy we can try to move towards here as well is we could try leaning into a Gorge Penumbra sort of deal. The old Gorge Trample handles everything plan. It's not a great plan, but it's a plan. I'm not playing the Sinner's Burdens, by the way. I will play that one, of course. But there's no reason to play the Sinner's Burdens because I won't get back around to them anyway with the number of them that are going to be added to the deck. It's really not that big of a deal. This is worth 6 damage each, so these are worth a total of 12 damage. You're at... If I hit 1 perils onto you, then I'll take 2 less damage, which is worth it most likely here. You can take a little bonus damage on the boss down here as well. It's fine. It saves us it saves us 2 fire health, which is worth it as long as I don't take any damage for that. But I shouldn't. Penumbra plus this goon up here should handle the boss no problem. A shame I can't make use of the lifesteal here. Alright. I'm pretty sure we're fine. 72, you should be 72, right? 62, hey, wait a minute. What gives? The days saves us here for sure. Alright, cool. If nothing else, the Wickless Baron has paid for himself in terms of the slot in the deck. This is going to be a much scrappier run than recent. What the hell? There's a Shroud Spike in my Clan 2-pack. What the fuck, game? What? I mean, yeah, sure, I'll take the Shroud Spike, but hey, wait, why is there a Shroud Spike here? That's not right. Molded is cool. We can try to, we can basically use Molded. Nah, I don't like it. The argument is I can have morsels that are excess just die, and then I can mold them back later, whichever one I want, but that's not that good. Okay. So there's our boss plan. We have Shroud Spike, we have Lifesteal Dog. Because we got the Lifesteal Boy in this room, we can now skip this Umbra banner. Go ahead and go to the left and pick up some good upgrades here and there. These upgrades are fine. Plus 25, plus 10. Although I kind of want to try reevaluating what I put on Crucible Collector. I'm pretty sure it's still plus 25, plus 10, but it's been a long time since I played him. But like, Large Stone is not worth... Large Stone's fine, I guess, but in this circumstance the train's kind of cramped already, so Large Stone gets awkward. I think it is just health and damage. Quick number 2 is just the same as quick number 1, not interesting. Endless on a stealth tomb is okay. What I actually like a lot here is maybe trying Endless on an Entombed Explosive, and then we put that in front of Wickless Baron every turn on the bottom floor. Middle floor we have Penumbra to sweep up, and then Crucible Collector sits on the top floor to finish off any stragglers. That sounds okay, but the problem with that is going to be Wickless Baron's gonna die if I don't draw Entombed Explosive within the first 2 turns. Which ends up being a bit of an issue. I don't think it's worth the money in the long term as a result. So, I'll just give him health. Even if I give him health, I think he'll still die in 2 rounds against most bosses, although maybe Diligent Seraph is not most bosses. Yeah, Blood for Blood's really, really, really good here. Petrified Heart is really bad, Blood for Blood's really good. The expected outcome of this run is that a lot of enemies, a lot of backliners are going to sneak up to the pyre here, which Blood for Blood will help mitigate. Man, I wish I could have taken Antumbra Assault. Nah, I'll just leave this. Antumbra Assault would have been a really good pickup there, but it's impossible to pass on a Shroud Spike there. It's just very strange. Like, it's a weird one because the rare card being shown to me is like I have to take it. This is a game-winning card, but it's not necessarily good right now. Which is interesting. Also, Trample Penumbra is going to struggle a lot here. See what's in the Shade Splitter. A Morsel. I don't care if you take 11 damage. I was thinking I would use the Morsel or the Drag to chump block that hit, but that 11 damage doesn't matter. Okay, with a Stealth Tomb here, this doesn't look so bad. I just want to make sure that everything I play on this floor dies, so I want to play the Drag. If I can toss a Lifesteal Morsel over to Penumbra, it's cool. But if I can't, it's probably still fine. No, it's going to be a lot of damage, potentially. Actually, no, it's not because we got Blood for Blood. At worst, Clergymen are +2 for us. Which is looking like what's going to happen here. Penumbra's always dead on this turn, so that's fine. Like, truly, that is not a big deal. Because of Blood for Blood. If it weren't for Blood for Blood, I would be a little more concerned about this. With Blood for Blood in the play, though, it's going to lead to enemies going up actually being a positive, and the lifesteal on our damage, or lifesteal on our dog boy up here should make it so that he will not die, which is the case as well. Okay, we're fine here. I do need a lot of... Actually, so we're not 100% fine. I need to have a lot of lifesteal onto Crucible Collector in order to really feel good about this, which we should have. Yeah, as you can see here, we healed 5 off of that wave going up, so... I just have to draw a Morsel on the next turn. Any Morsel and we are winning. A damage Morsel is optimal, but any Morsel will do. This means that I should play units. What this also means is I should not give any armor to the boss. Because right now he only does 240. That's not 600. It's not 240, is it? It's a little more than that. Oh, we got perils too. Okay, we're fine. Oh yeah, we win for sure. Right now, if it is about 240, right? It's 240 plus how many rounds? Oh, 53 health heal is a lot of rounds. It's like 7 more rounds after that, so it's like it's still not quite enough. It's around 500 damage, but when you do this, all of a sudden you have 16 lifesteal on a 76-93, and Blood for Blood's healing me for the backline building up. So also takes a bunch of damage from Wickless Baron. Tycoon? Baron. We're good, for sure. Very cool. Shroud Spike turns out to be a great card, who knew? It's a little concerning on our morsel generation front, but ultimately it's going to be fine. This is probably still Furnace Tap. Furnace Tap's super awkward and a big... Actually, no, this might... Ooh, so Furnace Tap is at odds with... Furnace Tap is a tough one to take here. Because on the one hand, Furnace Tapping Trample Penumbra means that every wave dies until Trample Penumbra dies. But on the other hand, it means that if I Furnace Tap at the start of the combat, my Shroud Spike is worthless. But we have the perils. I think it's still fine. This unit is Crucible Collector again. I'm okay without any of these. Now the real question here, do I want to push it and not take space here? This is Failure Arcus, so there's nothing like a curse effect coming up. Extra draw is nice. This is a draw space run for sure. Especially without the space prisms, this is a draw space run. You can pick up Crucible Extension, but that's not going to work for Trample Penumbra, of course. I guess, so the question becomes, is it bad to not be able to play Penumbra middle floor always? No, it's not that bad. I'm okay with Penumbra, because Penumbra will only ever have to be placed on middle or bottom floor. It's not like they can both lose space, so I'll take draw here. We're going to lean on Perils to be our big energy source on the turns where we need them to be, so I'm going to thin the deck down so that Perils can do a lot of heavy lifting ideally. I'm going to not... Although the Magic Shop does look pretty juicy here. Artifact and Find Double Gorge is really a winning line, but that's a low outcome, not very often. Removals are good, but... So it's ultimately... Pyre Health is worthless and the Remnant Banner is worthless, and the money and the artifact even out to be about the same value. Merchant of Magic is high value and Unstable Vortex is high value. So I think that both of these paths are okay. Unstable Vortex is like... consistently, we know what we get. And the Magic Shop is sometimes really big and sometimes mediocre. I'm down to go with the Magic Shop here. Yeah, because if I see Holdover, I can Holdover Perils. It's a really interesting thing to do here, but I'm down to give it a shot. If I do this and then I duplicate it, we can just have 6 energy every turn at the cost of 2 draws. Basically, I'm trading draw for 3 energy, but it's 3 energy always, right? I will always have 3 energy through Furnace Tap, and sometimes it'll be a bigger number if I play smart about it. I'm gonna start putting -1s on Shroud Spike, actually, and there's nothing to give 20 and Consume to. Remove Consume can go onto Packed Morsels. It could also go on Shroud Spike pretty comfortably here. Like, this doesn't look that bad. The only problem is Seraph the Diligent will punish me for a deck of only 11 spells. I need more spells, for sure. I think I'm going to not... it seems really good, though. It actually does seem really good to do that. So I will. Skip this. We go Trample 2. I could sometimes I could go Architect, maybe, there. But we didn't see Architect. This would be a really good run for Architect, actually, though. Like, honestly, Architect would be pretty strong here. Because we could fit Architect, Penumbra, and the Gorger on the same floor, and eventually we could also move our boy Wickless Baron to that floor. By the way, should mention, I've struggled a lot with this combat recently. Trample Penumbra crushes the Light Harnesser combat. He absolutely blows them away. It's so good. It is very, very nice. Also, this trial is free for us. Should have played you on the middle floor, I guess, but either way. Should also play that drag there. But yeah, we're gonna heal to full regardless. Now I do end up missing most of my card plays, but that's okay. Eventually I draw the perils and it's fine. The entire run at this point comes down to gauging the value that we're going to get out of Furnace tapping Penumbra when we draw Furnace tap versus passing it and holding the energy. So in this circumstance, the value of putting Furnace tap on Penumbra here is every single wave dies and also Penumbra chumps the boss for a time. That is a lot of value. And in the meantime, we just get to use our perils on a turn like this, and we generate 28 stacks of lifesteal up here. 28? No, it's 14. Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was 28, but regardless. We missed a bunch of, like, we missed on some of our morsel generation in the early game, but that didn't matter because of the Furnace tap. It's something that I'm mostly saying here for myself, but also for you. It doesn't matter that Furnace tap so Furnace tap is not a universal card, is what I want to say here. We're not going to always play Furnace tap when we draw it, but when we do play Furnace tap and on a turn like, or on a combat like this in the early game, and it just gives us a free combat, it's very nice. And it's never going to be bad, if this makes sense. It's never going to be a bad thing to have. I can just end my turn, we're done here for sure. Oh, he lived at 1. How about it? It's not going to be a bad pickup at any point. Kindle is pretty cute here. It's a card too. Ember Cache is a little better though. Ember Cache is better than Kindle for Diligent Seraph specifically. It's like, I guess what I'm saying is I spend a lot of time in a run like this talking about how we do against Diligent Seraph, but it's good to also remember how we do against other fights so that we can get ahead and then use that to snowball to great heights. Fatal Melting is one of the very few damage to all enemies cards in the entire possibility of this run, and I will take it. I've been skipping out on cards like this. This card's an out. It's an answer for like, oh hey, we had an awkward draw, and I'm going to pick it for that reason. Removal feels pretty crucial here. We went to the magic shop and I don't really need a whole lot else right now, so I'm gonna go for the removal. We're gonna aim for around 26 cards for Diligent Seraph. Multi-strike. With the spike, I could maybe multi-strike Crucible Collector here. I don't think I will, but I could think about it. I don't really like multi-striking anything here. I'm just gonna remove the Train Stewards and move on. Mostly came this way for removal, so I'm just gonna buy that. 26. And then I'll start removing dregs and adding spells in their place. Ideally spells that say consume. +6 with Silent Marksman is scary when you have no good answer to killing them on your own. They're scary in their own right, like just outright they're scary. With a +6 it just becomes a little much. I'm going to play it cool. Because I can't protect Penumbra from these. Penumbra is completely on his own. Fine. I guess I can put this up here to feed 1 lifesteal right out the gate, but I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, Penumbra's gonna die anyway here. Interesting. I want to play these dregs, but I don't want to feed the tank. But I do need, I need more units to die for Fatal Melting, I think. It's a tough one. Just checking, you cannot peril enemies. I had a feeling you couldn't. This is the combat where I feel like, this is just a combat I'm being punished for not taking space, basically. The stealth combat punishes here, but that's okay. floor you're at a bit. Play the grovel. So we can get that energy out. I'm just thinking about this one a little bit. I can't play the explosive, so I'm just gonna eat some damage from the tank, and that's okay. Like, we're full on health with a blood for blood, so I'm not super concerned about taking bits of damage here and there on this combat. Yeah. Can also keep an Umbra alive for an extra round. Lifesteal up here, see, or multi-strike up here. This is one of those combats where life or multi-strike is not good, and I'm just going to pass on it. I guess I could play it on the Wickless Baron, but I have the holdover perils. I should just slam this. Yeah, I'm just gonna slam it. I become fully committed to Ember Drain, but that's okay. We have Fatal Melting next turn. I'm not super afraid of this either. Willing to feed a little extra damage to Wickless Baron and float a morsel here. I take 18 minus 5, which is 13 here. Not a big deal. Like, really? Not a big deal. This is a hard combat. For sure. I do take another 5 if I don't Fatal Melting up here, but I'll take a lot more from this 4 if I neglect to kill it. So I should do that instead. This is a I guess I just play it here. It doesn't really matter. This is a situation where I am playing 2 turns ahead, more or less, where if I let that 4 go up unscathed, I'm gonna take 5 plus all of the damage that the backline guy would do. So probably somewhere in the range of 17 instead of 5 for that. I have no way to kill these, huh? Interesting. 25. I should put that perils on the back guy. Yeah, I guess I'll take the 4. It's a bit of a tough one here. It's a bit of a tough one here. What it comes down to here is I need to not play perils again, is all. This could be death. Although he does do like 400 damage or something like that, right? So we should be fine. 400? Am I out of my mind? Why is this only 200? You should live 14 rounds, right? Or 45. Oh, because he's losing health. He's taking... So this is less damage than you would expect here because he's taking 5 damage per round. His attack is not higher than the damage output of the 4. There you go. Okay. I thought I was losing my mind there for a second, but no, that was just a self-made harpy plus those 2 were doing more damage than he could take, so he was only getting 10 rounds. Or I guess it was only 5 rounds, huh? But yeah, that was a rough combat. For sure. Our draw order was not ideal. It's gonna be overall pretty tough. Crucible Extension is nice here. It's a good card to destroy against Diligent Seraph as well. Crushing Demise is very good. Heavies are going to be a continuous problem. It's bad because I have to kill a unit on one of my floors, but it's just going to be Wickless Baron, and it's not that big of a deal. He's just kind of here. Although he did make a difference on this combat as well. So, to be fair. No, I'll take it, I'll take it. I need more spells that are good, and Crushing Demise is maybe one of the best spells in the game. It's a very good spell. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing drags now. Yeah. We can also get a cool event here, potentially. That's Grovel, I don't want to remove that. What do we got? Another endless. Crazy. I'm not gonna spend any money here. Hey, another Shroud Spike. Wow. Very good. Alright. We should... I have to focus now on what matters the most, which is getting a really good spike down. So I need more morsel generation. That's our big problem. I am happy with where we are at, but I'm also a little concerned. We just have... It's a problem because I need to spike a morsel that isn't rubble morsel into our Crucible Collector, and then we're in a great spot. Okay, Penumbra's going mid 4. Sorry, I need to spike a morsel that is a damage morsel. I need to spike Morsel Minor, Morsel... oh god, what are the other ones called? I have no idea what Lifesteal and Rubble Morsel... Or sorry, I know Rubble Morsel, Damage Shield Morsel, Attack Morsel, Health Morsel, and Morsel Minor. So we want Attack or Lifesteal Morsel. Ideally, Attack Morsel. Or Morsel Minor. Oh, Morsel Excavator. Yeah, I would never have known that. This also feels like a situation where slapping Furnace Tap at him feels good to me. Penumbra will just gatekeep this mid floor, nothing will pass. I'll miss a little bit of morsel generation, but that's okay. It stops everything from going by me forever. It's not that big of a loss. To just yeah. Oh, it's not forever, I guess, because the damage taken by Penumbra will kill Penumbra this turn. Actually. Interesting. It's fine, I just grovel and we get another round out. This is for me not taking space though, for sure. I already saw the Crucible extension. Could have kept this Wickless Baron alive, but I don't want to take that Ember Drain. Penumbra's not 100% dead here, but it would be very good if Penumbra lived like 2 more rounds is all. It looks like Penumbra will not be living 2 more rounds, but it's actually not that bad because of Crushing Demise. Huh. How about it? Okay, now we just have to spike a good morsel for your stats, and we're fine. It's tough because we don't have many good morsel cards, so we're just relying on Shade Splitter to give us something good. Let's see what's in the Ember. I'm willing to look. Like, I'm willing to look all the way down to 3 energy here, because if we didn't hit it. If we had hit the 4 attack morsel, it would have been excellent, but, you know, 68 is still fine. It's also a ton of lifesteal. Like, this is a game-winning amount of lifesteal. The damage we're going to take from this floor isn't run-ending by any means. This floor, same thing. I can even kill the backliner. All in all, I think that we're fine. Because the other thing about this is that it gets easier after this floor, because Penumbra becomes a much bigger unit. Where were you two earlier? I just fed a bunch of damage. Whoops. That was brainless. I just fed, was that 4 damage? No, sorry, 8 damage maybe? I fed a bunch of damage to my Pyre there on accident. Please. I just really didn't want to Shroud Spike another Rubble Morsel here, but alas. There's 62 lifesteal. That'll do ya. Big ups to Blood for keeping us afloat here. Would really like to Shroud Spike a different morsel, but you know. It is what it is, I suppose. I think 70 lifesteal is good enough to kill the boss. That's a lot of damage. I mean, this kills Sarah. This kills any boss. We just have, all we have to do is survive to that point now. This deck has the capability to beat the boss, we just have to survive now. Forever Consumed is good, I think. Have to take space, it's not a question. We're going to trample 3. And I will go... Removals are nice, and the trinket shop is cool, but I really want to see a magic shop again. We can hold over Crushing Demise, things look a lot less scary. Hell's Banners is also really good here. Firewall's cool. Hell's Banners is really, really good, though. It's another energy relic, or like another energy option, rather. Which matters a lot in this run. And now, what are we looking for? If I pick Furnace Tap for double stack here, I'm never playing a card after it until that unit dies. But it's multi-strike 3. Too bad I can't get quick on Penumbra here. It is a shame. However, do a 2x+1 on the Shroud Spike, it looks good. Rage 6, Ember Drain 4. How silly. I think that the best card for me to take, yeah, for sure. We're gonna do a Remove Consume -1 on Packed Morsels as well. Remove Consume is less useful because it's Diligent Seraph, but it's still useful. Okay. As long as this isn't, yeah, this combat is fine. I do take some damage if I take this trial for sure. I don't need this money. I don't think it's worth the Pyre health. We win this game. I just need to make it through. So basically we're just going to pool Pyre health and try to cheese Sarah. The combat, if you're interested, the combat I was going to say, as long as it's not here, is Purifiers. I think Purifiers could be problematic. Anything related to curses on a run like this gets kind of scary. Fatal Melting does do 3 damage. I'm down to just slam the Furnace Tap. It clears the floors until Penumbra dies. Penumbra will die, because there's a lot of damage output here, but that's okay. Once we get Perils, it stops being a problem anyway. Or we play Packed Morsels for energy, right? We have a lot of answers. There's a lot of stuff we can do here. Hey, can I win a 1 and 4? Nah, it's okay. It was a 2 and 4. Killing either of these back 2 units would have been good enough, but it doesn't matter that much. Should have probably played Molten Casement there. Once Penumbra gets to 100 health though, like I was saying, it becomes a lot easier to see myself killing enemies. Yeah. We generated 8 energy on that turn. That's pretty good. Now, eventually, if there's one thing that I could lose to here, it is this boss as well. Living Armor, if Crucible Collector is not doing enough damage, Living Armor could run us over. It's definitely possible. Rubble Morsel. This is an interesting order turn. I play Perils and then Shade Splitter. Shame. But we get a lot of lifesteal here. The lifesteal doesn't help that much. I'll still do it, because there's no reason not to. But this boss can just reach a point where he does more damage than Crucible Collector has health, and then I die. That's entirely possible. I'm also taking a ton from this floor, huh? Yeah. Silly. I am taking a bit here. Yeah, a bit. A touch of damage. Shroud Spike, please? No? That's not in there. Crushing Demise at least kills that goon. Looking for damage morsels, as you can probably imagine. We have so much energy gen, this is wild. 300 damage is worth. I think we're fine. He has to go a lot of rounds here. He has to go like, he has to get hit like 61 times, and that's not very feasible. It's just worth noting that eventually... Oh no, he only had to get to 43 and then he could have started pushing damage, so it was probably somewhere in the range of like 50 attacks and we would have died there. But, you know. Fine. I did take 66 from a single wave though, which is crazy. Very tough. I might have been able to do something about that, but I'm not sure if I had drawn anything that was able to save that. I don't know. I'm gonna grab Cannibalize, I think. Although, second Ember Cache does look kind of nice here. Second Ember Cache looks like the way to go to me. Let me take Cannibalize. I think I need the morsels. Second Crushing Demise is okay, but I'm gonna skip it. We have more cards than I would like, but we have 26 cards once the dregs get played out, so, you know, we're about where I would want to be. 26 cards, not counting the 3 dregs. Why am I not counting the 3 dregs? Well, it's because I would go for about 26 cards against Diligent Seraph, assuming I was playing a clan combo that had 2 spells as their starters. So not Melting or Exile Hellhorn, basically. And honestly, we might still even be a little light on the spells, considering we have 3 tombs as well. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna go for Pyre Health here. Yeah, I'm gonna go for Pyre Health, I think. Commemorative Spike is very bad here. Mold Braces is worthless. I will roll. There is no justice. It's not that good. Like, honestly, the Fossilized Fangs miss. It sucks, but it's not that insane. Make Crushing Demise free. Because it's more lifesteal. We don't really have a problem with putting up lifesteal right now, to begin with. They're a drag. Maybe, but nah. Actually, let me roll for a +10 here. Yeah, that's good on Fatal Melting. So is taking it to 1 cost. Okay, good job, me. Feeling okay here. Yeah. I think it could go either way. If I had closer to full health, I would say for sure we're gonna win this, but it can go either way. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put Crucible Collector up here. I do want to play Penumbra on the middle floor, but what's even better than that is playing Penumbra down here with Crucible Extension and then just using chunk blockers to keep Penumbra standing throughout the combat. With draws like this Forever Consumed, we end up clearing entire floors. It becomes pretty good. Yeah, that looks like a really good setup right there, doesn't it? So, something else important to keep in mind is I have to not run out of morsel cards. I've died to this sort of a mistake in the past where I just consume all my morsel cards. So the question becomes, do I consume a Shade Splitter or do I consume Fatal Melting? It is tough. I think I consume Fatal Melting here, although... No, I'm gonna consume a Shade Splitter. This might be the wrong decision. But I feel like it's even one more play stopping curses is going to be worth it. And the longer that we survive, the closer we get to winning. What a profound statement, but it is the truth. I drop Furnace Tap here. Yeah, I think it's fine. If we get in a real tight spot, I can always just kill Penumbra myself with Crushing Demise later. But that's the best card to consume of these cards, so I'm going to do that. I should have probably taken that 1 energy, or 1 damage to the Pyre there. Yeah, I could have gotten a much better spike down. Regardless, the spike should position us to win here. I almost want to crush this, but there's no reason to. If I drop Perils this turn, I think it's over for sure. No Perils, so it gets a little scary. Oh, my Perils is gonna run out, I suppose. I'm gonna end up consuming them eventually. But... I got the Ember Cache, that's right. I took Ember Cache for this fight. Don't really need to play the other Perils. I guess there's no harm either way. I think we have it. I'm pretty sure we have this. I might take... maybe not. It's like, it's hard to see though. The multi-striking Penumbra is just gonna put in so much work. The curses are gonna pile up a little bit here, but we have these excavated embers to stop from having to take any pyre damage or consume any important cards. We have the Fatal Melting to clear out awkward turns. I think this is Penumbra's death. Okay, let me talk through this entire turn. I think that the best way to go about this is to play Entombed Explosive up here. We play Fatal Melting and Crushing Demise down here in that order, killing one of the Gilded Wings. Explosive kills this guy, and then Crucible Collector gets to kill the Light Wings. Then we just put a Morsel up here and we play Self-Mutilation, and I do Holdover Perils. Yeah, that should be fine. I already played a Consume card, I'm pretty sure. Great work, Penumbra. You did all you could. Excellent. Now I just get a big spike and we win the game. This turn we should win the game. I'm gonna cannibalize. Yeah. If Shadesplitter has an energy morsel, it is very worth it, so I will play this. Yeah, okay. For once, everything has gone exactly as I could have hoped. We win. Unless I die to this wave. It's possible I die to this wave, actually. Okay, so we don't win, but it's pretty close. I just have to watch my pyre health here. This can be a crushing defeat in the final moment. I take, you're +2 and you're, so I take, I think it's 8 here? Yeah, it's 8. All I have to do is survive this wave, which is going to do 53. Okay, no, we're fine. Let me walk through this, right? You're dead, you die, you go up, you do 50, and then you do 3. Both of you heal me on death, so it's 53 plus 10, or minus 10, so it's 43 damage to the pyre. I'm taking 1 now. It's not 43 damage where it's like, it's 43, but it's actually 53, right? If that makes sense. I mean, it is 53, but then I don't die from that 53, so I heal the 10, so the way I do that math is valid. Regardless, we have it. We have it, but this one was tight. This one was very close. I'm going to just barely sneak by. Blood for blood, hard carry. Whew. Saw that pyre drop to 10 HP there. Got a little concerned, but blood for blood hard carried us here. Blood for blood is nuts. It did so much heavy lifting. Oh my. Thank you, blood for blood. Maybe the best event relic in the game. And we got there. Cool. Umbra Melting isn't that bad, even though it was like, it was a tight one, for sure. Everything ended up mattering, but, you know, that's fine. We take those. We take those wins. I took almost all of the damage I took on this run, I took on floor 7 and floor 8, which are the floors where I said it was going to get easier, so that's pretty funny. I thought it would, but what ended up happening is the last wave on each of the last 2 combats, it was when Penumbra was killed, and I had to deal with those, but I ran out of outs. I didn't draw them. So it just led to us taking, yeah, because it was no damage, 3 damage, no damage, no damage, 19 damage, 27 damage, 66 damage, and 53 damage. So, you know, a ton of damage here, but that's fine. We won. So we take those. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try and start recording earlier because recording at 4 a.m. is tough. I've decided, but we'll see. Tomorrow I may be coming to you live from 4 in the morning. Who knows? But for today, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.